all my childhood and now even in my adulthood, I haven't relied on a single person more than my father to help guide me and tell me the painful, usually colorful truths. He has never let me down. He has managed decades of stress, responsibility, and life in the role of dad. This Father's Day, the day we honor all fathers, I decided to interview my dad. My father is the self-made man. He's a man of street smarts, calculated risks, and a strong believer in hard work and in God. In hindsight, I realize now there were times we didn't have much by comparison, but my parents gave us everything we needed and taught us to value receiving those things. I can't remember ever really wanting anything as a child that was necessary that he didn't provide. I went to the best of schools he could pull me in, and so on and so forth. My father and mother have been married for over 38 years as of September 2021. And as the first child and the first daughter, growing up, I could see how hard they worked for us, their kids. And over these years, I could see how their marriage grew each day, each time. They both worked hard for me, my brothers and my sister, and I really don't know what I would have done or what we all would have done without them. Through the tough days, with the ups and downs, they have stayed together. They brought us up in the right way, and so many other children who, weren't even their biological children. For that, I have really admired them and have really stayed grateful to God. And so, let me introduce you to my darling, amazing father, the best of them all, Surveyor Joseph W. Amadi, a fellow Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, an astute educator, a businessman, a philanthropist. For those who know me well, if you think I'm a giver, then this is my mentor in giving, an ever-present father to my siblings and I. So allow me today host my father. Welcome to Reels with CEO Daddy, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'd like to have you first introduce yourself to our audience. I know I've done a bit of it. So tell us a little more about you.
I'm Surveyor Joseph Wobo Amadi, Fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, FNIS, and Fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, FIMC. I'm a registered and licensed surveyor. I've been in practice for over 30 years.
Wow.
I've been a lecturer for over 10 years before I went on voluntary retirement. And now I'm the MD and Chief Executive Officer of Addison Service and Engineering Services, Nigeria Limited.
't you, Daddy. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that we're able to do this. I dreamt of it every day before I came to Port Harcourt. I was going to interview my dad, for Father's Day. And I'm really glad that we're able to do this. First, describe your relationship with your late father. How would you describe a good father?
My late father, Elder Stephen Ajuwon Amadi, was a very good father, a very responsible father, a religious father, a very hardworking man who toiled day and day, night, to make sure that he gave his children the best of life. So he was a good father.
Good. Okay. So, can you tell us now about your fatherhood journey? I remember that. Let me allow Daddy to tell the story. Tell us, how your fatherhood journey started, and how it's going so far.
Okay. In a nutshell, to become a father, I started late in life because I had a focus. I wanted to have education, relevant education, so that I'd be able to position myself. So I married much late, in September of 1994. And so that started my journey of fatherhood. 1994. 1984, sorry.
Yes.
1984. And so that started my journey. And by February of 1985, I had my first child. And by February of 1992, I had my last child. So within an interval of 10 years, I had 6 children within an interval of 10 years. The first 4, 1 year every, 1 year per child, 1 year per child.
Okay, so through the last 38 years, can you tell us, your experiences, your journey as a father?
Indeed, it has been a very wonderful one. At times up, at times down. But it's been a very joyful thing to say. Out of these 38 years, we've had 6 children, we lost 1, and now we have 5. 2 girls and 3 boys. They are all doing well, and I'm happy to say they are all doing well. First, in principle of life, from the Bible, Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. And that I've applied strictly in the training of my child and my children, both biological and non-biological. Secondly, in Proverbs, the same Proverbs 22:4, it says, with humility and fear of the Lord is honor, riches, and life. And so I taught them to be humble, to have the fear of the Lord. There lies the secret of success in life. Honor, riches, and life. And that I taught them. Again, hard work is my watchword for them, and I teach them to work hard. I send them to the best schools because I believe the best investment a father could make for the children is to send them to the best schools, give them the best of education. I send them to the best schools, staff, nursery school, UST, now RSU, River State University. Best primary school, Federal Government College, Staff Primary School. Best secondary school, Brainfield Secondary School, and FIG, First
FIG.
International Academy,
FIG, yes.
in Port Harcourt. And best universities, Ibineda University, the first private university. That was where I sent my daughter. And then my last son went to Babcock University, Ogun State. My first son went to University of Lagos, Unilag. My second daughter went to University of Jos. My second son went to University of Port Harcourt, where they all graduated in their various fields.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Daddy. Can you tell us what are the memories? What do you remember about when each of us were born?
Yeah. I felt very happy that even though I didn't marry early, the children came, they're all grown up and they're doing very well. For instance, my first daughter is not only an industrial chemical engineer, but she's a guru in the real estate. She's a manager and chief of executive
officer
in the
Victoria Crest.
In the Victoria Crest, in Laundry Kings,
yes,
Laundry Kings, and other businesses. My first son is not only having his first and second degrees in surveying, but he's also a registered licensed surveyor and is in full practice. My second daughter is not only a degree holder in law, but called to bar and is a lawyer of the Nigerian Institute of Nigeria Legal Institution.
Yes.
Not only that, she's a digital modern designer. Then my second son, Chigozrim, is not only having a first and second degree in biochemistry, but he's also an astute manager of estate facilities.
Yes.
Then Oyedikachi, the last one, is not only having a first and second degree in law, but he's also a real practicing lawyer in Lagos State. So these give me joy. Now still, what I remember about them, my first daughter, Ichechi, Chinaro Ekele Amadi, Chinaro Ekele Okonkwo Ni Amadi, is not only a daughter, she is a caring and sweet mother. She is a sister to all of us. She is a friend, trustworthy, reliable friend at all times. She is a very caring member of the family, caring not only to Amadi's family, but to Okonkwo's family and to others in general. and I thank God for her. My children, most of them have taken after my trait of being of help to others, not only to their biological relations, but to non-biological relations.
Okay, so that let me take you back to when, we started coming. Are there particular things or memories that you held on to when I was born, when Chimeka was born, when each of us, were born? Were there particular things that happened? Were there particular memories that, you held on to from those experiences of our childbirth?
Yes. God has been so kind, and to him I give all the glory. All of you were born straight without any operations. That was God's grace. But as you grew up, it was not easy, because I wanted to give you the best in life, the best investment, which is education. I had to be running from home to one school or the other to drop you and pick you back. You were all good. There was no time I had any problem that any of you were expelled or were involved in any crime. Rather, for courses that were meant for 6 years, you did it in 5 years. Icheche did in 5 years. Chimeka did in 5 years. Chigosin did in 5 years. Only allowed Gwyneth and Onyi to do 6 years. Otherwise, they were also equally ready to do all those courses in 5 years. So I hadn't much problem. The only thing is that with my determination to give you the best in life, it was not easy as a teacher, as a lecturer in the then Rivers State University of Science and Tech, now Rivers State University. So I had to complement my efforts by even driving in the evening to raise funds to make sure that I was able to cater for all of you. I also did some farming, both crop farming and fish farming, to make sure that I was able to raise money to give you the best in education. Having that philosophy in life, that I will show you the light, you people find their way.
Yes, and that stuck with us all through our growing up. When we had our family meetings, my father would always remind us we had a frame in the house, and he made us, memorize the words on that frame. Education is the plight of disease, yes. Ignorance, superstition, fear, and poverty. Yes. You get the education today and call off all biases, and that's, for me and my siblings, was our chant every day. And then he also always would tell us that he would show us the light and we will find our way. That we shouldn't put our minds in
my father is this,
that he has gotten, whether or go about thinking my father is this, my father is that. If we knew what was good for us, we should study and become who we want to be. That if anybody puts their mind on what he has or what he has kept, he will everything to motherless babies' homes. I'm not sure that he will have to do that anymore, because every one of us in our individual rights are doing well by God's grace and power. Okay, so are there things you wish you would have done differently as our father?
Well, for now, by God's grace, I say I'm really, really satisfied. I'm a man. I have that satisfaction and contented with what all of you are doing. And I thank God for it. It's not easy to have 5 children and they're all doing well. I thank God. It's a special grace. I believe it is the blessing from my parents, because I served my parents, obeyed them in everything. As he stated in Ephesians 6, 1-3, he said, children, obey your parents, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, for this is the first law with promise. And then when you do that, you have God's blessings, you have the parents' blessings, and when you are blessed by your parents, you are equally blessed in your own affair. Yes. They bless me that my children will be blessed, that they will be a source of blessing to me, and so they are today, a source of blessing to me. And so I'm telling them also, blessing them also, invoking God's blessings upon them, that they will be successful, their own children will be very, very useful and be a source of blessing to them. Amen. Their businesses will prosper. Amen. Because they've obeyed us, because the Bible has said that if you obey our parents, you will have that long life with this thing. And more so, I've always told them that the fear of the Lord, as is stated in Proverbs 22:4, with fear, in humility and fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and success. You must have the fear of the Lord. You must be humble. When you put those two together, then God will honor you. God will give you riches. God will give you success in life. Long life with good health as I'm having. Thank you.
Okay, so have we, your children, made you proud, Daddy?
Very, 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 very proud. Very, very, very proud. Very proud. Very proud. Contented, satisfied, lived a proud and satisfied life.
Tears?
You have done well. I wish you the same too.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
How would you like to be remembered? You know, there are certain things we know that we pray every day for long life and for prosperity. Honestly, I don't want to get, when I get calls from home, I want to just hear calls that my parents are doing well. But then there are certain things that are sacrosanct. And I know that you have done amazingly well for yourself and for us, your children. But there are certain things that I know you would want to be remembered for.
Well, life in short for me is service to God and service to humanity. Service to God and service to humanity. In the service to humanity, I've been the chairman of a family meeting, serving them. I've been the chairman of a Okoro Congress meeting, serving them. I've been the chairman of Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, serving the surveyors. I've been the chairman of League of Freedomers, serving all the Christians nationwide. I've been the vice currently and the vice chairman of God's Kingdom Society, GKS, Rumokoro. I've also been the chairman of Social Democratic Party, SDP, serving government. I've also been board member, serving government in Greater Port Harcourt Development Authority. I've been the president of Ikwere Development Association, serving Ikwere as a nation. I've been a lecturer and one-time head of department at University of Science and Technology, now Rivers State University, where I've served people, trained people, doctors, trained those who are survey generals. Some are colonels in the army. I've served them. And in the work of God, I've also been there serving. Now, this service is not there. You must also continue to help other human beings. Apart from my own biological children, I've also trained out so many in different fields, surveying, civil engineering, and other fields, serving humanity. And by God's grace, I'm full devoted in God's work, doing his work. And in the church, I'm the vice chairman in our branch, serving God. And I pray that God will continue to give me the grace to continue to serve him till the end for our own salvation in his kingdom fully established. Amen. So I will want to be remembered for serving humanity and for serving God. Amazing. That's what I want to be remembered.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Daddy. Yeah. Very brilliant answer. What do you think the world needs more of right now? It's a digital world and things are going so fast. Everything has transformed from when you raised us to now, you know, the parents who are raising children, including myself. So what do you think the world needs more right now?
Well, at the time we were raising you up, we sent you and we did use the analog, the books and other things to teach. I did not only rely on the school teachers, but I taught you at home.
Yes.
I did not only rely on that, I even brought you home lesson teachers. Yes. I also brought you in the spiritual way by taking you to church to hear the word of God and pushing you ahead there. Now, in this digital world, people need to know more about the digital things, computer and all the access thereabout. But more so, whatever anyone is doing, he must put the fear of God first in what he's doing, because it is there that you will not have conscience, the feeling for other human beings. If you have all this knowledge and you have no conscience, you have no sympathy for your human beings, then it means you will not be of use to them. So we need a digital world. In this world, we need digital knowledge to progress. And at the same time, we should have the fear of God in doing whatever we are doing. Because the fear of God will give you that sincerity, honesty, integrity that is required in life
to deal with people. Okay, great. So on the personal note now, I'd like to ask you, my husband always referred to, you know, your first meeting with him as a very serious interview session. He, you know, usually even likes to show people where he sat and how long, you know, the interview was for. Can you share your fears at the time, allowing your akweke, as you fondly call me, bring a man far from home to get married to?
In short, being my first daughter, I took you as my akweke meaning that's the golden python egg.
Yes.
Which should not be harmed, which should be handled with a lot of care and preservation. And so when I saw him, since I didn't know him, and not only from my tribe, I have not been tribalistic or nepotistic, but I wanted somebody I know so that I could be sure. But coming from another place, a different tribe, I was a bit scared. But then I had to tell him what I needed. Somebody who would take good care of my daughter, not anything, and that's why I emphasized. I preached it, I told him, I made him understand that you are my akweke, my golden egg, my golden python egg, very precious to me. And so he knew it, and I want to thank God, he's taking care of you.
Yes,
I want to commend him. He's now my golden son also. I want to commend him as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Daddy. Is there any last words that you'd like to share with us or share, with the viewers?
And the last word is, life is nothing but service to God and to humanity. If you have millions of naira in the bank and you die, no person remembers how much. But if you're able to impact on human beings by either assisting them financially or otherwise, people will remember you for what you did for them. So I will tell people, they should please have empathy. They should have sympathy. They should have that mind to extend to others, particularly the less privileged ones, so that the society will be a better place.
Thank you so much. And then on the final note, you've been married for over 38 years now. Are there one or two words that you can share with the young people? There's so many marriages breaking today, so many, so much disunity in the home, so much going on in marriage and in families as a whole, in the last couple of years. What words do you have for the youngsters who are in marriage or who are getting into marriage now to help them, also grow old and enjoy their marriage? Because you are not enduring yours. You've been enjoying your marriage. So how can we learn from you?
Yes, marriage, by God's institution in the Garden of Eden, is a union between a man and a woman.
Yes.
What the Westerners are doing is wrong. And in it, the cardinal word is love. And love there means look over various errors. There are no two individuals that are the same, and therefore there is bound to be errors. So you must look over various errors.
Look over
various errors. Look over various errors. Now, with my wife, I married her when she was in SS3. Now, I have to make her fit in to what I want. I sent her, encouraged her, supported her, and she had her NCE, French English, because I wanted somebody who is educated to be of the same line apart with me. I supported her and encouraged her, and she also went to university, Aduri University, where she got her B.Ed education in English. I also encouraged her and supported her. She went to River State University of Science and Tech, now River State University, where she had LLB, law. I also encouraged her and supported her morally, financially, and otherwise, and she went to the law school and then was called to bar. So she's a lawyer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I also have encouraged her at all times, even when we were having the child's difficult times and everything, and we've managed ourselves. And so, for you to live a happy life, you must assist your partner to be of what you want.
Be at the same level.
You cannot say you want this, then you are not assisting, you are not supporting. Rather, you are looking outward. He can't get it outward because those two individuals are the same. You must support, you must encourage, you must look over various errors. And that way, you will now have a very happy, harmonious home. That is the secret of happiness in home.
Oh, wow. Guys, here you have it. This is my 79-year-old dad. He will be 80 next year, and we can't wait to throw a huge party, even though he doesn't like parties. But this one, he doesn't have a choice. I'd like to say thank you so much, Daddy, for sharing with us today. I wish I had more time to ask more questions, but we have to run now. It was an amazing session with my dad today, and I hope, we've been able to take out one or two things. Through my life, I don't think I've had as much love and support from any other person as I've enjoyed from my dad. And I want to sincerely today say thank you so much, Daddy, for everything that you have done for my siblings and I. We so appreciate it. And even though we may not show it every day in our words, in our actions, but deep down, we do love you, we do appreciate you. And we pray that the Almighty will continue to honor you and grant you good health, long life, to continue to see our children's children and to enjoy the fruits of all your labor because you did labor. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Make sure you like, you share, you mention to everyone in your community, and let us continue to do our part to make our homes and our world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.